Hi everyone, welcome to Deep Tech Forum, and we'd like to welcome our next keynote speaker, Mr. Saad Hamov from the Catapult. Saad, how are you today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Great. So please feel free to share your slide on the screen, and take the stage.
Thank you very much. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Is it still there?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited. Thank you very much for this amazing experience. And I've been following your news today, and it's such a unique event, very important, especially in these times where people are looking for hope and looking to look for the future. And when I talk about space, I only think of the future. And when we plan ahead, such an industry, a strategic industry, and a uniter, a unifier for everyone around the world, it's very exciting, and I'm very privileged to be hosted by yourself. So thank you very much, Rico, and for your team for organizing this fantastic event.
Thank you very much, Saad.
Absolutely. So I'm going to begin by giving an introduction about myself and the company that I work for, and then a summary of where we are in terms of the challenges and the way ahead. So by way of intro, my name is Saad Humud. I'm Jordanian by background. I did my degree in finance in Washington, D.C., and I moved to London to start work. I worked in project finance for 6 years, and having worked on a space project during that time, I just felt that it's such an exciting sector to be in. And I decided to just jump in both feet. So I decided to go back to school, did my MBA so I can come back to work with something new. And I was recruited to the Satellite Applications Catapult, which is a network of 9 organizations developed by the UK to support up-and-coming sectors. 10 years ago, the government in the UK asked the question, how could the UK ensure it has a role in the up-and-coming sectors? Very important question. And based on that, they decided to identify what are those up-and-coming sectors really. One of them is renewable energy, smart cities, space. For each of them, they decided to establish an organization with an objective to develop and grow the sector. Since most of those up-and-coming sectors are made up of startups and SMEs, they decided that this organization would support such companies that require support, especially that their job and objective is long-term. So they spread the organizations around the UK so that they can also build communities around them. The Satellite Applications Catapult is based in Harwell campus in Oxfordshire. We have a network of around 800 organizations, startups, SMEs, working in the space sector here in the UK. And today, there are 10,000 people working as part of this campus, which never existed 10 years ago. So you can see just within 10 years, the remarkable transformation it has seen, delivering on the vision of the government. Us as a Catapult, our job is to grow the UK sector to 30 billion by 2030, which means that we need to leverage our efforts and our contacts, not just to support the startups growing in the UK, but by building partnerships and creating export opportunities for those companies abroad. And that is why I was recruited, because of my background in finance and my global experience, to look for opportunities, to create projects, to export UK entities abroad, and to facilitate inward investments. This past year has been very challenging, but the government in the UK understands the importance of the space sector, not just because it's a strategic sector, because it's an employer, it creates jobs. So there is an incentive to ensure that this sector continues to advance. And this is why we have unwavering support from the government. And there are multiple decisions being made recently to ensure that we are receiving the appropriate support in terms of funding and access to opportunities. So that's where we are today. In terms of the space sector and the UK, today the space sector is at a tipping point, with analysts such as Goldman Sachs believing the space sector will become a multi-trillion-dollar market in the next 2 decades. Data enabled by space is already hugely important globally and to the UK, and continues to offer new opportunity. The new digital economy is underpinned by the global opportunity for satellite applications. Few sectors in modern economies are untouched by digital services, a significant portion of which is enabled by space. The latest Size and Health survey by London Economics suggests that the space sector already underpins 300 billion, or 15% of activity across the UK economy. This is set to grow significantly as digital transformation advances across the country. Geospatial technologies and data are underpinning decision-making processes in both government and businesses, and are increasingly recognized as key in helping to mitigate climate change, one of the greatest global challenges today we face. The UK is widely recognized as being the second in usage of geospatial technologies after the US. This is supported by a vibrant service industry. Space and satellite data is also increasingly needed by governments, regulators, investors, and businesses, asset owners, as that transition to a low carbon future is realized. The satellite communications market remains significant. It's actually over $100 billion and is an exciting period of reshaping. A new generation of thinkers, engineers, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists recognize the opportunity created by the current industry. Within 5 years, these entrants are going to fundamentally change economics of commercial geospatial satellites, reinventing nearly every satellite component and system. In the 5G era, satellite technology will offer complementary capacity and performance to support ubiquitous deployment of 5G. With our support, UK businesses will play a leading role. Enabling these new services has supported development of many advances in access to space, from spaceports to launch companies, which the UK can capitalize on. The UK now has spaceports developing in Scotland and Cornwall, and leading launch companies in Orbex, Lockheed Martin, Reaction Engines, Virgin Orbit, and Skyrora. More than 100 launch companies have now been created globally. By supporting development of supply chains and demand, the catapult can enable UK advantage in this area of key strategic importance as the market matures. More ambitious opportunities from space are being recognized globally. Advances in AI and robotics are driving major global interest and enabling a new generation of far more ambitious opportunities in space. These will facilitate the next generation of services and all bring benefit to Earth, from mega constellations and mega antennas to beam direct to mobile phones to server farms to energy plants in space to lunar deployment. Possibilities and interest is expanding fast. The dependence on space infrastructure for military purposes, and the potential of the sector for economic growth is appreciated globally. The US is looking to land people on the moon by 2024. The UK created a National Space Council, and space is seen as a strategic priority. China has its own great ambitions. It has demonstrated its powers with recent lunar landings and are proposing an Earth, Moon, Mars economic zone. Technology is no longer the main blocker. Ambition, commercial innovation, and a coordinated approach to expanding our economic horizons are needed. Our strategy of emerging markets with empowering technology and enabling business in the areas of geospatial intelligence, ubiquitous connectivity, and access to space is delivering benefits from these growing opportunities. This year, we have won many projects, and in the past year before that as well. Those will open new markets for UK businesses. Our ambulance connectivity project is demonstrating the benefits that satellite connectivity can deliver for these edge case users. And we will enable UK businesses to deliver these services at scale and further demonstrate the wider benefits of ubiquitous connectivity. ForestMind is demonstrating satellite-enabled solutions to map and thereby reduce and prevent deforestation within global supply chains, another global challenge, deforestation. Working with the Consumer Goods Forum, the project will act as a catalyst for similar approaches to enable UK businesses to address water usage, carbon, and other challenge spaces for the critical area of sustainable supply chains. Third, the Church of England project will demonstrate how satellite technology can provide greater disclosure on the management of tailings storage facilities. Following the catastrophic tailing dam failure in Brazil, we are now working with the Church of England and a group of investors representing in excess of $16 trillion worth of assets. The pilot covers 50 sites, which offers a strong opportunity for UK businesses to deliver operationally. A significant milestone was achieved with our first in-orbit demonstration mission with orbital microsystems. The satellite is demonstrating delivery of novel weather services that will help businesses to raise further finance and scale out their constellations. At least 2 further IOD missions are scheduled, and each of these opportunities can lead significant UK business impact as the supply chains and value chains for these opportunities are built out through the commercialization phase. Alongside this, key facilities and cluster development activities have begun to establish a powerful set of interventions that can underpin further growth in the sector. The Westcott 5G Step Out Center was operational 2 years ago. The center provides SMEs with access to the latest satellite applications, service equipment, and satellite data. This removes the need for them to invest in expensive infrastructure when developing new technologies designed to produce non-terrestrial commercial products and services. The Harwell Disk 2 facility has an advanced clean rooms and flexible laboratory and manufacturing spaces for constellation spacecraft, in-orbit manufacturing services, and disruptive technology development capabilities. DISC's ambitions is to provide an annual economic contribution of £1 billion, and early customers include crucial businesses such as Open Cosmos and strategic players in UK launch, such as Lockheed Martin. All of our work has a strong focus on UK business growth. Over the past couple of years, we have worked across the Catapult to identify specific subsector growth targets for each of our value streams and the high potential businesses that can most benefit from the support of the Catapult. Through this, we have identified £1 billion of expected future attributable revenue impact, and more than 800 million of this from businesses we are already working with today. This has allowed us to best focus our efforts towards where we can have the most impact, because impact is our main objective. To ensure we focus on the best ways to support UK businesses, we will further evolve and embed these data sets and processes into Catapult operations. This was a summary of the Catapult and some of our interventions in the past couple of years, some of our facilities, and our major milestones we have to date. Our job is to develop the UK space sector, but in turn working globally to enable investments and to support developing countries establish their own space sector. We have partnerships at the moment in China, in Guangzhou. We are establishing bases in the MENA region, specifically in Saudi Arabia. We have projects in LATAM, and we have a recent space bridge where we share capabilities and introduce opportunities between the UK, Australia, and Canada. Thank you very much for your time, and I am very excited to participate as a listener and learn more about the other panelists. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Saad, for sharing about Catapult satellite applications. Well, I think the space economy is starting to snowball in a couple of years' time, and this is a perfect timing for entrepreneurs to join the tech space. And from a deep tech's point of view, it's still at the infant stage at this point in time, where there are so much opportunities, so much things can be explored in this deep tech industry. And thank you again for joining us. And I just created a clubhouse for Deep Tech Forum. So please get more of your friends and colleagues in the deep tech sector to join the Deep Tech Forum official clubhouse. All right.
Absolutely. And I will also introduce you to the main players so you can also meet the people.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
I'm just no component, but I'm very grateful.
Thank you very much, Saad. Look forward to work closely with you.
Can't wait. Thank you very much, Rico.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And for the rest of the audience, we have one more last speaker of the Deep Tech Forum before we wrap up. So we'll be back in around 12 minutes, and I think 12 minutes we'll be back. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you.